In 2021, Jheanell's life took an unexpected turn, a turn that has also changed the lives of countless women around the world. Hi, I'm Alric, and welcome to the show. Jheanell Barnaby is my special guest today. Jheanell, how are you?
I am feeling good.
Yeah?
Thank you for asking.
All right, you're looking lovely.
Thank you.
Your dress and all of that.
Thank
Good.
you so much.
Take me, Jheanell, to that day. Were you suspicious that you had cancer? Was it a regular doctor's checkup? Take me to that day.
Okay, so my journey started back in 2018, right? I discovered that I have a nipple discharge coming from my right breast, right? Of course, I was not thinking that it's cancer. That was, the farthest thing away from my mind. However, I was associating this with, possibly a breast infection because I breastfed back in 2012, right? And I remember at the time that my daughter did not want to be fed from that affected breast. She only wanted the left breast. So I was just thinking that, maybe it's something having to do with the fact that I did not get all the milk out. I don't know where I get this theory from, but, I was just thinking that it turned into something over time, right? So I was alarmed by it, and so I decided to check it out. So I went to my gynecologist and explained what was happening to him. He then referred me to a general surgeon because he wasn't able to, get into the details since he's a gynecologist.
Right.
So he sent me to a general surgeon to get it checked out. So I went to the surgeon, explained what was happening, and he did some examinations as well as some lab tests. So he sent the samples to the lab and it came back inconclusive. We still weren't sure what was happening. So he decided to do a lumpectomy to, further get some details as to what is happening. We did that. The results came back to say that I have DCIS, that's ductal carcinoma in situ. So that is actually, he said that it's stage 0 breast cancer at the time. And so, I was in disbelief, because he said the word cancer and it was personalized no. So I was, in disbelief in that moment. He said that in order for us to cure or to, correct this issue or to treat it, then we'd have to do a mastectomy, right? I was not in agreement with that because I'm thinking it's a stage 0. He said that it's stage 0 breast cancer, right? And he's saying that it's not anything for me to worry too much about. So I'm thinking, why do a mastectomy?
If it's not that serious.
If it's not a stage 4, or even a stage 3. So I decided that I wanted to get a second opinion before I made that huge decision, and so I went back to my gynecologist, I cried and explained to him what was happening, and he now refers me to a new surgeon. And he decided to do some further testing. So I did an MRI scan, I did an ultrasound, and I also did a genes test. Waited for those results. The results came back, and, to our surprise, it came back, all of them came back negative, not showing anything, not showing that signs of cancer was there, right, as he said. So this new surgeon...
Was that like a relief for you, or are you still in confusion? Are you still confused?
Well, I was confused, but it was a relief as well,
right.
And those are the words I wanted to hear. Nothing is there,
right.
And so he said that we're going to monitor it within the next 6 months. So, we're not going to do anything until 6 months' time. I come back again and I do some more tests. So 6 months came and I did some more tests and I was fine. Nothing was there. And by this time, the discharge has disappeared as well. So 2019, I was okay. And 2020, I was fine. Now, fast forward to January 2021, I noticed that some physical changes started happening in that same breast. The breast tissue became firm, so that there wasn't a single lump. It was just the tissue being firm. And I also noticed that the nipple was a little bit inverted, right? And also I had a little itch. When I scratched the area, I noticed that the skin is flaking. So, this got me really concerned, and I decided to check it out again. I didn't procrastinate this time. I really went ahead and I got it checked out. I went back to the surgeon and he said that indeed he didn't like what he was seeing. And so he sent me back to do a mammogram as well as an ultrasound. And those results came back negative, not showing anything either. So it's like whatever was there was just hiding. And so he decided to do a biopsy, a needle biopsy. So he did a needle biopsy and the result came back on April 23rd to say that it's invasive breast cancer, invasive ductal carcinoma. Breast cancer.
Was that a mighty hit?
Yes, it was. He said that I'm going to need to do chemotherapy as well as a mastectomy. Right, so he suggested that I do chemotherapy first and then the surgery after.
They say invasive. What does that mean?
Right, is invasive, meaning that it has moved into the tissues as well as a few of the lymph nodes in my underarm area.
What would you say would have been your greatest fear in these moments?
I felt like death was staring me in the face. So I would say dying. No one wants to die. But to be diagnosed at this young age, I feel like I'm counting my days, and so my greatest fear is not being here to see my daughter grow up, to see the person whom she becomes. And I have not lived life as yet. Mm-hmm. I want to live life. So, my greatest fear from all of this is just not being here.
Right. How old is your daughter?
She's 9. Mm-hmm. Right.
What have you said to her?
Okay, so I told her that mommy has a little situation dealing with, and so, I have to constantly go to the doctors to get treatment, and this treatment means that, some physical changes will be happening. So I'm going to be losing my hair, you're not going to see me with any eyebrows, and you're not going to see me with any eyelashes, plus I'll be, feeling sick sometimes, and she took it well, to my surprise, she took it well. At first she cried because she was saying that she doesn't want to see her mommy without hair. But she eventually, got over that part, and she's my biggest strength. She comforts me and tells me that I'm going to be okay through this all. So, yeah.
All right. We take a break. When we come back, we talk more with Jheanell about her experience, and we talk with her sister, Basilia, about her support. In the good times and the bad times, the support of friends and family is always welcome. And this was the case for Jheanell when she was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Her sister, Basilia, is now with us. Basilia, how are you?
I am good. Very good, thank you.
When Jheanell shared the story with you, or the diagnosis with you, you would have known about her journey from 2018. Right? What was your reaction?
I was shocked. I was taken aback because I thought this was behind us, especially given the fact that all the tests that she had done previously came back negative and all of that. I thought that, we no longer had to deal with this. Yeah. She did not tell us in person. She made a video and sent it to us.
Hi fam, hi friends. It is now confirmed that I have breast cancer, and it is a stage 1.
Why a video?
I don't feel like I could talk about it without crying, and I wanted to be strong. So I thought that, disclosing this information would have been best through a video.
I think it was easier for her to get all the information in terms of what she wanted to say, because back in 2018, I don't think there was a point where we could have, spoken about it clearly, because she was always, very emotional about it. So she made the video and she sent it. We have a family WhatsApp group, and she sent it in the group. And my husband actually watched it before I did, because I saw the video come in, but I didn't click on it right away because I was doing something. And my husband, he watched it and he came and he said, "Babe, you watched the video? I said, which video? He said, the one that Jheanell sent. And I said, no, not yet. I'm going to watch it now. Because I was going in a meeting, he said, don't watch it yet. Don't watch it yet. Just wait until after the meeting. Now, as he said that, I knew exactly what was happening. I knew what was wrong. I knew off the bat that something was drastically wrong for her to send a video, because Jheanell doesn't do that. She doesn't send videos of herself, maybe pictures of...
If you're lucky.
Yes. We're always getting pictures of Peyton, who is my niece. Yeah. So the fact that she sent a video, I knew that was what she was saying.
Whoa. What were your first words to her?
I didn't want to call her crying. So I WhatsApped her to say, I saw the video, you okay? And then from then on, we started seeing more of each other, because I had to be coming up every week. I volunteered myself to take her to treatment every week. She lives in Kingston, I live in Mandeville. And I made sure that every Wednesday that the baby had a sitter and somebody was home with the girls while Bria is in school. We have 2 daughters, Bria and Bella, 5 and 2. So we made plans for them during that time, and hubby was at work. And I made sure that I was here every Wednesday to pick her up, take her to treatment. I sat in the car and waited, because in the initial stages, it took a few hours for the treatment to be finished. And I couldn't go in with her because of COVID protocols, but it didn't matter to me. I was sitting outside, or I was sitting in the car, occupying myself. I just wanted her to know that I was there.
Right. What did all this mean to you, Jheanell?
I mean, I had no idea that I was this loved, to be honest with you. So the support is very important. It means a lot to me. I don't think I could have gotten through, chemotherapy without this support, because I'm still on the journey, so I've completed chemotherapy, and I really don't think that I could have gone through it without the support.
What's chemo like?
Chemo, it's not a walk in the park. I had my ups and downs. In the beginning, when I just started, it wasn't as bad. All the stories I've heard about chemo, for me, it wasn't as bad. So for the first 12 weeks, the only side effect I had was losing my hair. Right, so that's one type of chemo drug that I had in the first 12 weeks. For the remaining 8 weeks, that was another type. Now, that one was horrible, horrible, because I threw up all the time. I had heartburn. I had this metallic taste in my mouth that did not go away. So I didn't enjoy food. And also, I didn't want to eat. I was afraid of eating, because I know that once I ate, then I would just throw it up back. So, the last leg of it was really rough, but I got through it. I got through it.
What was it like losing your hair?
Emotional. It was emotional. A roller coaster, I tell you. I mean, I had no idea what I'd look like. So that was one of my biggest fear, losing my hair. I remember the day I started having bald patches around my around my 3rd treatment. And then I decided to go to the barber by the 5th treatment and just shave it off, because I couldn't stand seeing, the patches, that was rough. So she accompanied me to the barber, and I remember feeling the hair going through my head, and I felt the tears welling up. But she cheered me on, telling me how beautiful I am, being bald, and how my head shaped good, and all of those wonderful things,
Those moments while you were cheering Jheanell on, right? What was that so, valuable to you?
Well, naturally, I'm that kind of person, as you know.
Yeah.
But I also understood the importance of being there for her and just helping her to understand that this is a season that we're going through. And I actually I wanted to bald my head as well. But my husband was the one who went and got a bald head as well. Cool. So every time he would come up, he would make sure that his head is bald. We're celebrating. But in that moment, I just understood the importance of being there for her and with her. People don't know that Jheanell and I aren't biological sisters. She's actually my brother's wife. She's my big brother's wife. And that's how close we've always been. And so, you know, my brother, we always just checked in on him to see, you know, if he wanted to talk, if there's anything he wanted to talk about. And I think the fact that I was there during that time to just take some of the pressure, you know, off him, I think it made a difference. And we're just so grateful.
All right, we take a break. When we come back, we talk more with Jheanell and Basilia.
The Alex Show.
For Jheanell, it has been a journey of fear, faith, love, and hope. We continue our conversation. Jheanell, take me to what would have been your lowest point, and what did you hold on to?
I had my lowest days, you know, when I felt ill and I felt like I could not go to the next treatment because I felt like I didn't have the strength to do it. You know, so that's definitely my lowest point. And I held on to the fact that, you know, this is just a season, as my sister mentioned earlier. It's a season that I have to go through, you know, and I have to do it for myself. I have to do it for my daughter, my family, you know, my husband and my family. I have to do it for them. So I hold on to that. And I mean, I don't want cancer to have power over me, you know, so I try my best to stay as positive as possible, you know, because I want to have control over this.
Basilia, what are some of the lessons that you have held on to during that season?
Well, definitely the power of support. I remember on her last day of chemo, I decided to make a very big deal of it. I went and I printed shirts. My last day of chemo, it said, chemo was tough, but I was tougher, with a boxing glove on the back. I bought 16 pink balloons to represent the 16 rounds that she did. When she went in for her last one, she didn't know, she had no idea. So when she went in for her last treatment, and while I was outside, I was preparing everything. When she came outside, I was out there with the balloons and excitements and everybody looking at me and, you know, just going on. And we went inside and the nurses were so happy, and, you know, one said in particular that they wish that other persons would do that for other patients because it does a lot.
Yeah.
So I really understand now more than ever the power and the importance of support. I think that the unity is strength, and that's something that her doctor said to her. She said, I can know when my patients have good support. And so people see Jheanell smiling and they can't understand why. I make it my point of duty, as well as my mom and her family members, whether we're here or overseas, to ensure that we check in, not just for the quick answer, how are you, I'm good, but the long answer, how you feel, how you feel today.
I could not have done this without the support of my family and my friends. From the beginning, my husband, he has been there for me. I wondered when I was diagnosed how I was going to break the news to him and what his reaction was going to be like. Would he still love me for me? You know, would he be there during this time? But he's definitely been there. My daughter, you know, she is amazing, very loving. She rubs my head all the time, tells me that I'm going to be okay. And she's even, you know, doing her own research. And she comes back to me and she tells me what not to eat and, you know, what not to do, what to do.
You have a doctor at home.
So, and that's what she wants to become too.
Great.
So, yeah, but she definitely... She's 9, but she understands a lot, and you know, I didn't have to hide this information from her.
Yeah, which
you
is
know.
good.
Yeah, right. So support has been really, really important to me, and you know, I just want to say thanks to everyone. My mother, my mother-in-law. They're not physically here, but they, you know, support me through calls and through messages, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, even strangers, persons whom I have not met, you know, they've reached out to me, and you know, my heart is full. As I said before, I did not know that I was this loved. So I am really appreciative of all the support that I've gotten thus far. My work family as well, they've been awesome, you know. They've been awesome. I am allowed to work from home during this period, you know, and that, you know, with COVID and everything that's going on, you know, that really means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been there, you know, in whatever way. You know, I'm really grateful, really grateful.
You know I love you. We have a lot of plans to live it up, grow old with our false teeth dropping out and everything. And I just want to assure you and reassure you that we are here with you, not only for you, but with you. And we're going to finish strong. I have no doubts. I have no reservations in my heart about, where we go from here. It's only up from here, as they say. And we're going to finish strong. One day, 20 years from now, we're going to look back like, oh my God, we remember a time. And we're going to get through this together. And to everybody who may have somebody who is going through a situation like this, it's very important to stay positive. We make jokes about her bald head, like when she was trying on her dress last night. I'm like, all right, the dress looks nice. How are you going to do your hair? And it helps to keep the moment light, and it helps to, just ease the edge that they may be feeling. And when you're supporting persons, support them wholeheartedly. You can't do it halfway. There were days when I was coming up and I was really tired, and Jheanell didn't know. If Brian didn't tell her, she wouldn't know.
Because I would say, don't come.
So when I would go home, I would stop at a safe place and just take a nap, because I'm just so tired and I don't want to drive while I'm so tired. But, I did what was necessary to be there for her, because I understood in that moment that she needed me and she needs all of us. So it was all hands on deck. So if you have somebody going through this or something similar, it could be any sort of illness, be there for them. It makes a world of a difference. And we can see it with Jheanell.
Thank you so very much for sharing your story with us. And your story definitely will make and will continue to make a world of difference to women, to men, to families everywhere. I want to thank Jheanell for sharing her story with us, and for her sister Basilia to join her, to support her. I'm Alric McKenzie. The Alric Show will be back next week.